I'm Dalton Barrett with News Radio WGNS, and here are some of the top stories affecting Rutherford County on your Rutherford Roundup for this Monday, March the 31st, 2025. In a move with statewide implications, Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti is urging residents, including those in Rutherford County, to take action regarding their personal genetic data. The company, 23andMe, known for consumer DNA testing, has filed for bankruptcy and may sell off its assets, including genetic information and personal data, as part of the proceedings. Skrmetti emphasized that under the state's Genetic Information Privacy Act, which took effect in July of 2023, Tennessee consumers have the right to delete their data and request destruction of their biological samples. Residents of Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and surrounding communities are encouraged to visit the Attorney General's website for step-by-step instructions on protecting their sensitive genetic information. Meanwhile, a dangerous incident in nearby Mount Juliet resulted in the arrest of a 19-year-old Nashville man after he allegedly targeted police officers with his vehicle in what authorities called an intentional attempt to intimidate and harm law enforcement. The suspect reportedly drove towards an officer during a traffic stop and led police on 2 reckless pursuits through the community. Though not directly involving Rutherford County, the episode highlights regional public safety concerns. Thanks to aerial support from the Metro Nashville Police Department, officers were able to safely end the pursuit and apprehend the suspect using a spike strip system. No injuries were reported, and authorities continue to investigate the motive behind the attack. A proposal advancing through the Tennessee Republican-led legislature could soon require public schools, including those in Rutherford County, to teach students a life framework referred to as the, quote, success sequence. The bill, already passed by the Senate, promotes a path of graduating high school, obtaining a job or degree, getting married, and then having children. Supporters argue that this sequence helps to reduce poverty by encouraging delayed life milestones, while critics, including Democratic lawmakers, warn that it could stigmatize students from single-parent homes and inappropriately influence personal decisions. If passed, this legislation would shape how life planning is discussed in schools across Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and beyond. In Rutherford County, a silver alert for 64-year-old Keith Murdy was canceled Friday evening after he was found safe. Murdy, who was last seen near McLaren Place in Murfreesboro, had a medical condition that could impair his ability to navigate alone. The search mobilized to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, Fire and Rescue, and Emergency Management Agency, alongside the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. His discovery was attributed to coordinated efforts among these agencies, as well as rapid public outreach. Paramedics evaluated Murdy at the scene to ensure that his condition was stable, and authorities commended the swift response from the community and first responders in bringing a safe resolution to the search. A former Tennessee foster care youth is taking powerful strides to protect children currently in the system. Ella Brennan, age 19, who emancipated herself from state custody at 18, has written and is now advocating for SB 1015/HB 1358, a foster youth bill of rights. Collaborating with the Senator Farrell Hale, the Tennessee Bar Association, and the Department of Children's Services, Brennan seeks to ensure foster children across Tennessee, including in Rutherford County, are guaranteed basic rights like housing, education, and access to legal representation. Brennan recounted harrowing experiences, including sleeping in state offices and being denied crucial documents upon aging out. Her testimony before lawmakers emphasized the urgency of empowering foster children with the ability to report abuse and advocate for themselves. In a separate incident tied to Tennessee, a high-speed police pursuit ended in tragedy when 30-year-old Torrico Hambrick was charged with first-degree murder and several other offenses following a crash that killed 29-year-old passenger Laterica Woods. The pursuit began in Arkansas when Hambrick fled a traffic stop at speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour. Authorities performed a tactical vehicle intervention, causing the vehicle to overturn. Another passenger, Latricia Walker, remains in critical condition, while investigators found firearms, drugs, and cash in the vehicle. Hambrick, who's a registered sex offender from Tennessee with an extradition warrant from Shelby County, now faces a slew slew of charges as officials decry the senseless loss of life. The Tennessee State Senate is currently debating SB 1086, a bill that would invalidate any driver's licenses issued by another state exclusively to undocumented immigrants. The legislation specifically targets licenses that are visually distinct and not available to legal residents or citizens. If enacted, individuals found driving with such a license in Tennessee could face a Class B misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Supporters argue it upholds the integrity of Tennessee's licensing system, while critics warn that it could create complications for undocumented individuals who are legally allowed to drive in other states. Should the bill pass, it would affect communities across the state, including those in Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and the broader Rutherford County area, where immigrant populations often contribute to the local economy and daily life. Meanwhile, Murfreesboro police responded to a serious accident Friday evening involving a pedestrian on South Church Street near I-24. Officials described the incident as a car versus pedestrian situation. The victim, a male, sustained life-threatening injuries and was transported to Vanderbilt Trauma Center in Nashville, where he remained in very critical condition. Murfreesboro Police's fatal accident crash team arrived on the scene to conduct a thorough investigation, which included taking measurements, gathering evidence, and speaking with the witnesses. The road was closed for several hours to allow for the investigation, but reopened shortly after 10 p.m. Authorities have not yet released the identity of the injured man, and the cause of the crash remains under review. That's all for now. For updates on these, as well as many more local news stories, be sure to check out our website, WGNSradio.com, or follow us on social media at News Radio WGNS on Facebook and X. I'm Dalton Barrett with WGNS Radio, and I'll talk to you later.